All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
This open meeting is being broadcast live and recorded by WRPS for playback at wrpsrockland.com/TV government access or public access full screen link, and within 24 hours via on demand at youtube.com WRPS Rockland. Have you had a chance to read the minutes, Dan?
Yes, I read the minutes.
You want to make a motion to approve them?
Make a motion to pass them.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Excuse me, Chuck, can I speak for a moment?
Yeah.
I just want to clarify that it's May 6th, May 19th, and June 17th for the meeting minutes.
I have 6th and 17th.
I sent May 19th as well.
Okay, no, I've read them, so I'll stand by that. Dan, are you
Okay.
all set?
All set.
Thank you.
Okay.
One question I did have in the minutes, Rick, and I believe it was June 19th. Get my paperwork here squared away. You said something, if we didn't get the permit modified or would have trouble reading a 1.5, 2 milligrams per day. Did you mean 2.5?
So what was that again, Chuck? About the 2.5?
In the meetings of what was it, June? I lost my page again, damn it.
17th.
On the 17th, one of your comments was that would have trouble meeting the 1.5 million gallons a day. You meant 2.5, correct?
Probably, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So there will be no drain layers, I take it?
There is one. It's Robert B. Our Company out of Harwich. They paid the fee. They filled out the application. They supplied all of the references that were required and the bond. Do you need to know who the references are from?
No, but we can't do that. It's not on the minutes. It's not on the agenda.
I thought you had that section on the agenda for drain layers.
Yeah, but there's none listed.
I don't usually list them. I usually tell you who they are because sometimes we have
Okay.
multiples.
All right. Yeah, go ahead. If you got all the paperwork.
They have all the paperwork, all the insurance. Their references are all from other municipalities. We have the town of Orleans, the town of Chatham, and the town of Nantucket sewer and wastewater management. So everything is in order and paid in full.
Keith, no problems?
No, I've worked on sites with them and the outstanding company.
No, I have no problem with that. I'll make a motion. We accept the drain layers application.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's, I'm also an aye. That's a unanimous. Abatements?
None.
Okay. The new brewery. Table is yours, gentlemen.
For the brewery, we have Leo Reardon.
Right here, sir.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna start. Leo, you can, continue. Just, on the town's behalf, I visited the site numerous times. This is an existing connection. It's nothing new. It's from the previous Kathy Corrigan's facility. With the brewery, much less flow because a lot of the bathrooms have been eliminated, reduced down in size. There was previously, it was a daycare facility, a swimming pool. They had more than 20 bathroom stalls and showers. There's also a fitness and gymnastics place. They reduced all the number of toilets. The brewery itself, it's a tight system. No product will be entering the system. And all they have a walk-in cooler with all it's going to that's condensate pump, which on a bad month you might produce a gallon of water. So with that, Leo, it's all you.
Well, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Ray Jennings. I don't have a presentation for you. I'm just here to observe Leo just asked me to come to, I'm an attorney from Weymouth. My office is at 775 Pleasant Street in Weymouth. And Leo just asked me to be on board in case the board had any questions or we had some questions that needed to be addressed legally. And so I have no presentation. I know very little about the site other than what I've been told from Leo, and I haven't reviewed plans. So I don't have a presentation for you tonight, gentlemen.
That's
ladies,
okay.
Just
My main concern is that everyone on board is aware that that is going to be an absolute zero discharge from any residue from that brewery, correct?
I didn't quite hear what you said, Mr. Hessian. I'm
That is going
sorry.
to be a zero discharge into the sewer system, correct?
From the brewing side of the house, that's correct. It's just all the typical, normal sanitary type water type stuff.
Okay, do you have a problem writing a letter just guaranteeing us for the file that it will be a zero discharge to the system and as a board requirement?
Absolutely, no problem at all.
Then great. Now then, personally, Dan, do you have any questions for him?
Nothing.
Well, I've looked at the prints from both sides, from ZBA and this, and I wish you a lot of luck. I like what you did in Weymouth. Like I said, I'm just very leery with a brewery coming in on the sewer system. As far as for a commercial business in Rockland, I wish you all the best of luck in the world.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
That's okay. I'm not drinking again anymore, but I'd visit you if I could.
Very good. If the board doesn't have any questions, I have, really nothing to add other than the plans that we've submitted, as well as the letter that we submitted to the commission previously in terms of our operation.
Well, I read the letter to Mr. Taylor, and I'm going to go by Keith saying he's been through it numerous times. He has no problem with it. He is the superintendent. And if he doesn't, like I said, mine was purely environmental concern with the amount of phosphorus being used in that industry and the chance of it getting into the waste stream. If you're assuring us that it will not happen, then I have no problem recommending we approve your permit.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
With that, Dan, I'll make a motion. We accept the Article 15 brewery permit.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Yay.
Hey, that's 2. Okay, congratulations, gentlemen.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
With that, what I'd like to just reiterate, if any of the public is on board, if not, but I want to go on the record stating that this should clear up all previous connection requests for Rockland, commercial and residential, that I'm aware of. Applications.
Just want to make you aware, Concord Meadows, they've been in planning.
Okay, who?
Concord Meadows, 365 Concord Street. They were approved on January 30th of 2020. They just been modifying, they're reducing the number of units.
Okay, but I also want to make sure that you're aware of, at the May meeting, we voided their permit with no action after over a year. So they are going to be a new application. They're submitting again. It's a whole new plan. It's nothing like it was what was approved. So they are going to have to reapply, and they're subject to the moratorium. The only thing I will waive is I will make a note that they will be subject to the fees from the previous application. But it's in the ordinance. They took no action for over a year, and we were well within our rights to avoid that. So they are subject to the moratorium. Once we clear off that I, they can get on a waiting list now, apply, put in a formal application, date it, and as far as I know, they'd be the first on the list for the waiting list.
Okay, and then 324 Howard Street, they just, basically asking information. I let them know about the moratorium and potential fee increase, and they were just okay. They're just basically just poking at where things are. And then the Academy for the rink made them aware that the moratorium, no consideration will be allowed. So they go with septic. That we will not be collecting any connection and or INI fees, which will be in excess of 200,000.
Okay, but what I want to also tell you is we made it crystal clear to them that that permit that they received, that they reserved last month, is not for that academy. It's going to be a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
new connect. Okay, it's a whole new connection, whole new ball game. So what I'm going to request from you and Robin Keith is that as these people formally fill out the applications, they go on a waiting list by the date and time, 1, 2, 3, and we'll take them by then.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
just like,
Once we get rid of the INI that we need to accommodate the moratorium, we'll open up the flow again, and first come, first serve.
oh, yeah, no, I understand. I'm just letting you know that the academy is gonna, they're gonna be going septic. And so they won't ever be connecting to the town sewer.
They're going to be able to go septic on that with DEP?
Yep. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. And that's it for connections that have, outside of the brewery that have,
Okay, the other one you may have coming at you, and just as a heads up, may be Holy Family. That's the only other one I'm aware of. Holy Family and the other one on Concord Street. 323,
320.
Yeah.
The one that they took the house down.
Yeah.
The abutters have contacted, and I just made them aware that, of at the time when they contacted, made them aware of, well, there's no water, there's a moratorium with water, and then now currently there's no moratorium with sewer, so they can't even move forward with it.
Okay. But like I said, I think that's on the minutes here, Keith. We could jump ahead if you don't mind. The new applicants section. I had asked you on one of the items for the under old business, was you were going to come up with a letter, and which you did. But I was wondering if on that letter you can indicate the number of units and maximum flow. And what I mentioned earlier to you and Robin, I think we got to come up with, I'd say, you and I have had the conversations about the EPA, how we're going to track applications, the flow, the fees, and how we address that INI. So if you could undertake that, I'd appreciate it.
I'm not going to take 1 ounce of credit for this. Robin developed a matrix sheet, which basically it has 3 sections on it. It says, number of units, cost, amount of gallons per day, and the INI costs. So it's something that would go in every property moving forward. So it's a great metric sheet, and it's kind of, it's foolproof. It's all you do is just edit. You use the same sheet for every property. All you do is you change the name and the amount of flow.
Yeah,
So
no, I've seen the Excel spreadsheet, and it does work. All I'm saying is, do we have, when we assign a permit, is it by a permit number or just a business name? How do we tie in, from that Excel sheet, how would we tie in the permittee?
Well, we have like a permit card, and it has a number on it. So,
Okay.
like 4-digit number, I believe they are. But that also falls with in the property folder.
Okay, just say, because it's what I'm referring to, Dan, you weren't part of that conversation, which we got to get you up to speed on, is with the EPA. With that, I'll jump into that. I sent you guys out some notes that I took during my phone conversation with Dave Turin. The EPA has granted us to, I believe it's August 27th at noon to submit our data from the RFI. And I'm going to be upfront with everybody that's listening that, and it's through no fault of Keith's, no fault of the current board. But it appears that monies that were collected by the sewer department since 2006, I believe, if those of you who are long-term remember that we had a I don't know quite, call it a scandal. It was a criminal case. And one of the solutions to that was the monies that were collected from the sewer department went straight to the accounting department. But from what we can ascertain at this point, that those funds went to the general funds, which is shared by everyone. Other town projects, pardon me?
Chuck, let me just stop you before you go way too far,
Okay, go ahead.
because I want to try and save our embarrassment. And
Oh, no, please don't hesitate, jump in.
we had a meeting with the town accountant today.
Okay,
And alongside with all those reports that I provided you with, how much was spent or funded for engineering and I&I work, there's recovered $451,000 out of sewer development fees. It was in another account. He
excellent.
did all the work, she reconciled it, and it's actually $451,022.92. And that's
Awesome.
a stabilization account for the sewer department.
And they can backtrack that money to I&I jobs?
She would not have benefit. This is old. So this is dated back from 2015. It's just all monies that went into sewer development revenue. So we have that much money in now a sewer stabilization account.
Oh, okay, don't hold it, okay. So we have not spent that money on I&I, that's physically in there now.
Yes, correct. It is. It's in a stabilization account, which is basically a stabilization account.
Oh, I understand stabilization account.
It's used for if there is we'll just say a disaster, and we need emergency funds. It's almost like with the town enterprise fund, they have the rainy day budget, rainy day fund. It's the emergency funds, and that's what this account is now setting it up as.
Okay. But so what I'm gonna ask you now is, how is that going to help us with that RFI?
That the
Because they're looking for us to, they're looking for, go ahead.
we'll just use the terminology of missing funds. The missing funds have been found because we have all the documents about how much was spent on I&I, which was hold on a second, $3 million. $3,173,000, $215 was spent on I&I, and now here's another 451,000.
But that hasn't been spent yet.
The 451,000 has not been spent, correct. That is sitting in an account for the sewer department that the town did not reallocate for anything for, we'll just say, town use.
Okay, then why don't we table this EPA update until the next meeting when you can bring me up. What I think we have to do then, Keith, is probably, and this would have to be done in a public meeting, because I've got to bring Dan up to speed on this. I want him to see the submittals. But why don't you and I meet next week? You pick the date. It can't, any day but Wednesday and Thursday next week.
Yeah, okay.
Hopefully, maybe we'd even do it Friday, Tuesday or Friday.
I'd probably prefer Tuesday. Fridays are usually crazy days.
Okay, so why don't we do it Tuesday? I'll get a hold of you Monday. We can set up the time. Because that's gonna, I really want to make sure we're on the same page with that submittal.
Yes,
Big thing
and
that they were looking for is that, which I think you already cleared up, we gotta let them know some idea of exactly how many permits we issued is one of the things they were looking for. Well, you saw my notes.
that's all in the doc that have been provided.
Okay, so she got that today?
The 451,000, I got the confirmation of that today, but all the everything is in the documents that I gave you that
Yeah.
you're gonna give to EPA or have gave to EPA, whichever one it is.
Okay, you set the day, you set the time Tuesday. if it's all right with you, could it be afternoon?
Oh, oh, yeah, sure, absolutely. I'd have to cut the phone off right now to get my calendar out.
No, don't. No, you know what? Do it.
I'll
I'll tell you what, I'll talk to you Monday and you just let me know when and where you want me to be. And I'll bring all this paperwork down with me. We go through it together.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a text, sure.
Okay. And then Dan, what I'll do is I'll set up some kind of a quick meeting that we could just go over it with you. So you're aware of what's going on and what was.
Chuck, excuse me, but you have to have that as a public meeting.
Yes, I understand that. That's what I was saying. But I want to make sure Keith and I are on the same page before I schedule that with Dan.
Yeah, maybe I can set up an independent meeting with Dan and if, we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Okay. Okay. The I&I removal I have down just for the clarification that as we take out, we have to apply the 11:1 ratio to, for example, if 100,000 comes out, 9,000 or 9,100 becomes available.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Okay. So why don't we just jump, you want to hit fees first or do you want to do the CWMP?
Well, we can start with the CWMP.
Okay.
Starting to put bid scope together because that has to go out to the street for bidding purposes.
You're talking for the bench test.
Oh, the bench test, that is not needed at this time. It's because we don't know what our permit is going to be. It's essentially, it's a waste of money.
Well,
It's
then
not,
you've lost me. The CWMP has already been set with Wright Pierce. That was allocated on the article in the Maytown meeting for phase 2 of the study project.
I'll have to look at.
We and I met, and what we said, we agreed on, you take over the Wright Pierce. And you said to see the bench test, you were going to wait. And I said, that's fine, but I wanted to get the contract assigned for the CWMP. That was all part of the first project.
Well, I talked with the town accountant. She says that this has to be put up,
No, it does not. No, it's not part of the, it's not chapter 30B, and it's not part of the design service contract specifications. That's probably,
well, we have some major things that need to be discussed about.
Time out.
Because
all right, hold it. Let me hold it. I got the floor here for a minute. The CWMP was going to be rolled over from the comprehensive study program. That's how we split it. We split it into 3 phases. Phase 1 was the study. Phase 2 was going to be the CWMP. Phase 3 was going to be the design. We discussed a year ago that we wanted to have the CWMP and the facility study by the same firm because it'd give a continuation of what our entire system looks like. We put an article together in May for the comprehensive waste study for $300,000, which was approved phase 2. Everyone was mentioning Wright Pierce. We had further conversations with them in May. They brought it down to $185,000 without the bench test, because then you came on board and said that you could get the bench test done cheaper, which I had no problem. Now, I have an email, June 21st, to you, summarized our meeting. And I'm going to read just the first paragraph. It said, you said at the meeting, you get the bench test done for less money, go for it. But keep me in the loop. As far as the CWMP, please get that written up so we can issue the purchase order to Wright Pierce to get that going ASAP. Just keep Kevin and Doug up to date with your plans. That was on the 21st of June. July 8th. I sent another email to you with some other stuff about the meeting. Proposed fee increase was the subject. And in there, the last paragraph was says, do you have the contract specs for us to review and sign along with the milestone chart and the engineering services contract? I want to get each of these moving, and hopefully you can update us on your ideas and costs for the bench test for the phosphorus. Now, the CWMP to me was already settled. That's not going backwards. Unless they got a real legal claim on that, that's going to Wright Pierce, and I want to sign that contract tomorrow, if not Tuesday. That does not fall under the scope of Chapter 30B, and it does not fall under the scope of design services contract. Design services contract is specific. I use projects ready for road, bridges, sewer, and landfills are not subject to designer section law or the 30B. Just read that. So that contract's going to Wright Pierce.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to make a motion that contract goes to Wright Pierce for the CWMP. Dan?
I'll second it.
Okay. Keith?
A lot of smoke and
How can
mirrors.
you pull this at the last minute is what I want to know.
Pull what at the last minute?
You're
I
going to go out the bid on the CWMP.
because
That
I
was
talked
settled.
with the county. I'll bring this conversation up with the county that this was already settled I got to be in with agreement with the county.
All right.
They-
Just tell her if she has a gas pain with it, that it doesn't, tell her, show her, we had that article in May, it got approved at the May meeting. We went back and forth rewriting it in April.
And that, I'll bring that up to her. That's fine. She might not be, might not have been aware of it. That's all.
Yeah, but I don't see how she could say it has to go out to bid. Because we clarified that.
And then,
These are the notes I had in April.
well, I wasn't employed with the town in April.
No, I know
so-
that, but all right, again, no fault of yours. I don't know,
No, so
Dan, how it ended up there.
if that's the way it's gonna go, then it's no big deal. It's,
All right.
I'm just bring it to her.
No, you know that my exasperation is this, Keith, and again, it's not you. This should have been done in 2006. I mean, we're going back, and I don't want to be in a position of telling the EPA, say, again, they're not going to buy a word we say no matter what we say now. We lied to them. All right, so I'm going to make that motion again that we issue the contract for the CWMP to Wright Pierce. I believe it's 185. We can finalize the price.
It's 180,000. It is, and it has to be will not exceed. The question I have with their contracts, they have a lot of, we'll just say, not expenses that the town of Rockland and Suez have to absorb additional costs. So the $180,000 is not,
No, it's a not to exceed 180.
but then
And I don't want to tie up you or Suez on it. I mean, I don't see.
they have it right in their contract, their proposal, additional fees or expenses to be absorbed by the town of Rockland and or Suez. So it's what I mean.
Okay, eliminate them. Figure out a way, talk to them, and if they don't tell them we want them eliminated. I don't want to see your times, other than gathering data, it shouldn't come down to you or Rick or Suez rather.
Chuck, can I make a quick comment, Chuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really familiar what the contract was with Wright Pierce, but just to let you know, I'm not sure what year it was. I mean, I have all the data on my computer. The town did a very expensive phosphorus test.
Oh, no, I have that.
Okay, I just want to make sure we don't repeat the same.
No, that
Same
phosphorus
data.
test was done to whether we could comply with the 0.2 or 0.1 limit.
Okay,
This one here was we were talking about if we can get down to 0.05 or below 0.1.
okay,
And I agree with Keith, the permit's not out yet. I think we're going to see a draft permit before the end of the year. In the way I was looking at it, really the bench test, that could be done during the design phase for all I know.
And that's when it's the best time to do it, and also spring or fall, not in the middle. It's
No, I
just-
agree. I mean, if they were going to roll it in and do it for nothing at the same time, I was all for it. But when they came back and said 185 or 180, say 186, so I think it was a 185 and something.
And then another $72,000 for the phosphorus test. So now they're up
I know.
to two.
Phosphorus is out. Take that out, Keith. You said you can do it, that you can run with that. You can just go nuts with that one.
Yeah.
I just figured if they were there and they can get a trailer and do it,
You know, it's said it's another additional $72,000 plus cost of Suez and the town of Rockland to provide additional, we'll just say elements.
Well, if that's, I'm assuming that means police details.
No, it's all in the backyard. Like we have to provide power, pumps. It has to be manned. So we have to take someone from Suez instead of working operational in the plant. They got to work on this phosphorus pilot test, and that's 3
Okay.
weeks of
Tomorrow,
time.
it's too late for you tomorrow to jump on that one. You got, like you said, Friday's bite. Why don't we do this? Do me a favor, please get a hold of them Monday. See if you can have something we could sign by the end of next week.
Oh, I have.
Cool.
They're you know, they sent me like a draft proposal or whatnot. So yeah, that's something that can be signed. That's not an issue. But
No, I want your issues. I want you comfortable with that ancillary charges for you and Suez.
yeah, that like there will be no charges. We don't have funds for any additional work.
Okay, remember, lip sealed on that added money we found.
Yeah,
So, lip sealed on that. And as far as it, Rick, I'm sure Rick doesn't have the manpower to tie up for that.
no, he doesn't.
No,
So no, tell them we want that out.
Yeah.
We want it. Tell them we got it, but we want that out of the equation. It's going to be a not to exceed contract. So why don't we table that one till you talk to them Monday? And if we're going to have a quick meeting on the EPA with Dan, we can tie that one into it. I was hoping not to have a meeting in August, to be honest with you. But we got to get that CMP one moving.
Hey,
That-
Chuck, Chuck,
that-
real quick, Keith, Chuck, just want to let you know, Suez we actually have a vendor coming next Wednesday regarding phosphorus removal. It's a relatively new company. I don't have the facts in front of me, but this company, they've already been out to the facility once. They're going to be coming out again with the VP of the company and stuff like that. But they're willing to do a pilot study on phosphorus removal at the Rockland wastewater treatment plant for nothing. So I will keep you all advised.
That's right on my price range. I love that.
Absolutely. So
Yeah, but are they going to say to what limit, or just going to shoot for a permit limit?
yeah, well, right now we want to see what they can get their limit down, what they can get their process down to. So it's going to behoove them to try it out in Rockland, and if they can get down to 0.1, it's no cost to us.
Yeah. Okay, that's game for that.
Yep. So I'll let you know next month how we make out.
Is Ed going to play with that?
What's that?
Is Ed going to be part of that?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I guess the next thing is the senior discount. Keith, any luck on that, or?
Well, right now is not the time to be giving away money. We'd be losing about 10% of our billing. And also we have to do a rate study because
Okay.
our revenues our expenses have exceeded our revenues.
No, I understand that. That's why Keith, really all we can do on that is go by you. I mean, and I know I'll explain to Mr. Long that we're not ducking it, but he's also, the residents have also got to understand with the moratorium in place, we're not getting revenue.
Exactly. And it's unfortunate, it's a double-edged sword. I know, we need to do some improvements on the infrastructure, but now we're talking in regards to fees. But so we have to move forward with a rate study. And the rate study includes, we'll just say a $50 million plant, $20 million for infrastructure improvements, and then the yearly operational costs, our budget, which is roughly, $3 million.
No, I agree with you. And hopefully if he calls me back, or I'll send him an email and I'll explain that to him, that, we are solely, we run by fees of, we collect. Let's get gas paying over the Red Sox. But, and again, one thing else I want to point out to everyone that's here, that moratorium can be revisited anytime. I just felt it was best in our best interest to get something in place before we start dealing with the EPA.
Yep.
Okay. the fee increase, the more I thought about what Keith said last night, now Keith, correct me if I'm wrong. You were saying instead of going by units, go by bedroom.
Correct. As I said, that's just my thought. That's how,
No, because talk it out with me, because I'm saying if we do that, we're actually bringing in more money.
there's potential because, if you have a 3-bedroom house, new construction, or you got a 4-bedroom house, or, what you call them dwelling, and, apartments, same thing. If you got a 3-bedroom apartment, you got a 2-bedroom apartment. It's just, going by the bedroom, you have potential for more fees.
What's
Versus,
the downside? What's the downside to it? From your experience when you've done that, where did you see you getting bit?
what's the thing? I've never viewed it as getting bit because it, even if you have an existing 3-bedroom house and they put an addition on and they're adding a bedroom, you're collecting fees. You're collecting additional fees from it, not just the building apartment, and electrical, or if they just add a bathroom. We don't get fees for a bathroom. It's because by bedrooms. So now if they're adding a bedroom, we could collect, just say for instance, we set the fee at $500 per bedroom.
But okay, I don't have the thing here that I have. What did you propose to go with the fees? And that's, oh yeah, I got it. Okay, you want, okay, for the connection fees, I put down 200, you wanted to go 150.
Yeah, it just, I did a lot of comps, towns around us or, within a 10-mile radius. And a lot of their fees were 100, 150. I'm not saying, hey, let's be at the top at 200. I'm just trying try to, when things free up, keep, development attractive in Rockland. I know we're trying to collect every nickel we can, but still trying to be,
Competitive.
competitive and or just like, in the ballpark. And I know all these fees get pushed off from the developer to basically to the purchaser. But it's just, hey, this is something, it's whichever fee we go with. I mean, we can look at it again in 6 months or a year. If, you feel as though they're too high or they're too low, I mean, you can always, through the commissioners.
My intention to, everybody knows, was not to gouge the guy that wants to come in and build a house or build a 2-family. What really kills us are these multi-unit places, and that's, I don't want to say I wanted to make it less attractive because let's face it, it's not going to, but if we were going to get them, we could get it there. I mean, I'm all for where you put down the 1,000 for the commercial. I like your numbers for commercial. I'd do anything for commercial guys. That helps the tax base. Dan, you got any thoughts on those fees?
No, I think the fees are pretty close. I
Okay,
mean,
do you have any
when you go to a
objections?
when
Go
you go
ahead,
to a 2-family, it gets, income should be more money. That's what I'm saying. 2-family, 3-family, a multi-family should be more money because they're collecting for rent from them.
Yeah, but see, you and I can hide behind the tumbleweeds. Keith has got to take the shot to the forehead.
Oh,
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think the 200 would be outrageous? Knowing we could go back at any time. But you're the one that's got to sell this. So you're the one that's got to be comfortable in it.
It's, my thing, just because, with, economic development, when things go, reason why there's a lot of apartments going up because there's not an excessive amount of land available to start doing a lot of these the Millbrooks, the French's Crossings. So people now, developers are now looking at like, all right, you know what, we only have, a parcel of land, but that can be permitted, say, for a multi-use apartment dwelling or condo complex. That's why you're seeing a lot more of these multi-unit developments. It's just because land is just not available.
Yeah. All right, Keith, your call. What do you want to do? Leave it at your recommended? You want to go the higher and see? Like I said, you're the one that's got to sell it.
Yeah. said, I don't want it to be like, hey, it's my way and,
No, Keith,
But,
that's not what I'm saying. You're the superintendent. You've got to sell this. You're the one that's got to look them in the eye. I'm just looking at the financials. I'm just seeing how we could generate money for you to do the I and all the other stuff you got to do. That's all
Yeah.
the way I was looking at it.
so why don't we, this is just my recommendation, just go with, the recommended fees that, I propose to you. And we start, we get some I removal and things start. And if we see a long line of developments coming in, then we can revisit it. To do a possible another rate increase.
Okay, then, Dan, you'd have anything else to add, or?
No, I'm all set.
Okay, then I'm going to make a motion. We go with Keith's suggestion on twofold on the fee increases and rewrite the ordinance. Well, let's take them one at a time. I make a motion. We accept Keith's proposal for the fee increase.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
All right.
And just for the minutes, Robin, I will provide you a copy of these proposed fees. Just, there's a lot, so I don't want to take up a lot of time reading them all right now.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, and Robin, how do you want to handle what Keith suggested about the per bedroom? Wouldn't that have to change our ordinance?
And so,
I don't think it changes the ordinance. I just think it changes that fee structure. The fees are not inside that document. They're
Okay.
separate.
Okay. So do you want to say the fees are approved will go into effective Monday?
that would be, hold on a second. That would be July 26th. I'm
Okay.
sorry,
July 19th is Monday.
Yep. Okay.
I'm dying to see how this thing works out per bedroom. You know what? You should write something up formally.
Yeah, how about, like I said, we'll do this recommended fees, and then I'll just do like an exercise to show you. I'll just use, just say like a 10 housing subdivision, and I'll do it by what the fees are.
Okay, if you just give us a talkie, that'd be cool.
Okay, sure, absolutely.
Thanks.
Excuse me, did you say an effective date for the new price change? I didn't hear one.
July
July
19th, 2021.
July what?
19th.
Oh, 19th. Thank you.
Now, as it stands, Robin, all the permits aren't issued now until they're paid in full, correct?
Permits are issued when they ask for them. Anytime after a project is approved, they can request the permit, pay the fees, and have it issued. It could be weeks before they actually do the work.
But they before they begin the work, does the permit have to be paid in full?
Oh,
Yes, they can't get the permit until they pay all the fees.
Okay, thank you. All right, Keith, that's the SSE update.
Okay, update. Let me see.
You had to
Okay.
be dying these past
Yep.
2 weeks.
Yep, I've been talking with AECom, and they're almost done reviewing all the tapes, basically, making all the documentation and whatnot, and then from there, they go into a recommended design phase, and it's still looking like that will be ready for us, our review in October. Because it's a lot of hours of footage, and then they gotta break down each individual increment of where they found a deviation and provide what's the best recommendation and go and design. In design, obviously, you want to stay you want to take segments of the town. You don't want to be to say, oh, we're going to do one thing on East Water today, and tomorrow we're going to be someplace in Millbrook. You want to try and stay. You don't want to contract.
How you want to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how
Yeah, and then we call it articles.
yeah.
Bob and I, we sat with a bit of the town accountant. We are rolling over as much funds as we possibly have from our previous budget, And we are gonna have enough money to replace the digester boiler and do the upgrades at the Butternut Pump Station.
Okay, now that also had, I'm just refreshing your memory. In May, Rick, you helped me out. Was it $200,000 we got for the sub pump station, right?
Yes.
Okay, 200 for a pump and 100,000 for I&I.
Yeah, the INI is staying with INI, and you can't.
Okay, no, I just wanted to let you know that that's what you had from this.
Oh, yeah, no. And they said, we're it's called repurposing. So we're repurposing 200 and I think it was $16,000 of old money, and that's going to the special meeting. And then with that, we're going to be getting some of the ARPA funds, because all the ARPA funds aren't available right away. That's supposed to last until 2026. So it's divvied out in increments. It's not like the town's getting 3 million. The town's not getting 3 million in one lump sum. They're getting it in increments. So the town, they have to balance their shortfalls throughout the town, and but they are helping the department out to give us enough money to do the digester boiler, because they said, what is your top priority emergency situation down there? And I let them know that the boiler is. So they're
what about hitting them up for 1.3 for I&I
there isn't 1.3 million available
in the town?
I've already asked them, and they said they would love to, but there isn't 1.3 million to give us for I&I. As I met with the administration, we discussed our infrastructure needs. They looked at the ARPA and their rescue plan, and in addition to sewer, there's water, there's roads, other needs throughout the town, but they're using some of it to, revenue replacement to balance the budget, and we call it for the rescue plan, like we got 1.7 million, but we only get 800,000 up front because it's divvied up over 2 years. So the 800,000, be nice if it all went to sewer, but it's not. It's the balance in the budget from all the shortfalls, and we call it. I'm trying to think. They're gonna, once everything is balanced out, then they will let us know what other remaining funds are available to help out, all departments, not just I'd love to just be cool because it's fun.
All right. Have you had, and I'm going to go on to a very unpleasant subject. Just, I'm going to play devil's advocate for a minute. Now, I want to go back to the EPA. Now, again, you weren't part of it, but we didn't do anything they said we'd do in that corrective action, basically. So they're not going to, I think, take our word that we're going to do something in the future. Are they prepared up at town hall for the possibility that we could be fined from the EPA? Now, the EPA's last resort usually is a fine. They'd rather work with you, but I'm worried that they may not be receptive again, where we told them stuff we'd do before we didn't. What I'm saying is, should you plant, or should we plant the possibility of a fine? I'm hoping that if they fine us, they don't go to the nutrient side, because they go for nutrient, we're at a 0% financing.
Well, and that's the thing, and I know EPA would be thinking that, okay, if we're fined, then it's going to eliminate us from getting 0% financing. EPA's not in the business to fine. They want to see, and I think I'm more than confident that EPA is not going to fine us.
Okay.
And I think you and I should have a conversation offline, and with we got to set up a meeting with yourself, me, and Dave Turin.
Oh, no, I agree with that completely. That what the conversation that I've had with him, so up front, all he wanted at this point was our documentation for the RFI. he is planning on a face-to-face meeting with the three of us, and I even asked to Rick to be present.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
that is in the works. But he said they're going to go through that documentation submittal first.
okay, and I'm fine with the documents that I provided.
Okay. Like I said, I'm all for it. I know they're not in the business to find. I just don't want, if the worst case scenario happened, they don't say, oh, we never heard of this before. Well, the possibility's out there. Will it happen? I don't think so. I think they're going to want to see us correct the situation rather than punish us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When do you have to have anything? Are you going to prepare any articles for a submission?
Oh, we did that today.
Okay.
Yeah,
When we see the drafts?
and that's what it is. It's well, it's just verbiage. I didn't write anything down. They're gonna repurpose funds from FY21 budget, and then the article, we're gonna write the language as, you want the I don't want to say loose language, because you don't want to just speed. It's going to be just for, say, a digestible.
Oh, no.
The digestible and just say, like, electrical components. You don't want to be tied that money can only be used for the digester. That
Absolutely. Give yourself wiggle room. Give yourself plenty of wiggle room.
Yeah. Okay, but I'll present how the articles to be submitted to to the commissioners, and
Vote on that.
for your review and or edits if needed.
Okay, Rick, you have any?
I'm sorry, what was that again, Chuck?
Pardon me?
No, I'm good.
You don't
It's
have
my
anything
turn?
to bring us up?
Sure. I'll just bring up a few things. Let's see, back on the 24th, Infrared Corporation came in and they finished they performed electrical maintenance and testing of all the MCC buckets. Verbally, they had no issues. Currently, right now, I'm waiting for the final report. The only other thing, back on, let's see, I think it was the 29th, actually. Find this one interesting. Neil Handler of the EPA Region 1, the senior enforcement coordinator, called the plant. He called looking for me. I was actually out that day. Then I called him back, and he was basically looking for information regarding a 2021 multi-sector general permit for stormwater discharges.
Huh?
It's a permit that's wastewater plants typically or can get depending on your functions at your facility. So I talked to Neil. I actually talked to Keith about this too at the same time. It went really well. It was a series of questions that he talked about. We basically discussed any area of the facility that has the potential to get into the stormwater. We started right at the headworks. He asked me, questions regarding, how we handle our storage, our solids, the grit screenings, sludge. Some of the other questions he asked me were, how do we, who do I use for sludge hauling, chemical storage. And again, with Suez, if we get a chemical delivery, we cover all the storm drains. So everything we went through, he was very happy with the answers that I gave him. And he said that at this time, he said he was going to send me a letter. He says after answering the questions, it was determined that the Rockland wastewater treatment plant is not warranted for the 2021 permit. It's called an MSG permit. So like I said, that was just kind of out of the blue, but it wasn't out of the blue because I had talked to a couple other municipalities and private, and they were getting, I guess it's Neil's handling this and he's just calling facilities right now. And because the way the Rockland facility is set up, again, the permit is not warranted. So he said we were doing a good job.
One less permit's okay with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Other than that, flows up a little.
With all this water.
What's that?
How'd you make out with all the water?
Well, Well, flows are up.
What did you max out at?
We maxed out at about 5.8 million gallons. Unfortunately, we had to activate the high flow management plan. I had to staff the facility around the clock for 2 nights.
Inevitable.
Yeah, but the good part was we did not discharge to the receiving stream. And we were able to hold everything in the empty tanks that we have on site. Currently right now, I mean, the biggest thing, Chuck, we recorded at the facility 12 days of July, we recorded 6.5 inches of rain.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
that's
figured
crazy.
it was asinine.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, other than that, I mean, unfortunately, I'm anticipating having a July flow violation,
Well,
which will be,
that's a given.
yeah, which will be the first one in all the 20-something years I've been at the facility for the month of July.
Yeah, but so let me take a wild guess, okay? And this is the truth. I haven't looked. You still have got to be pumping, my bet. It's got to be around 3.3, 3.4 today.
I wish. Right now we're at 4.1.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, and Keith knows, but Keith and I have been discussing it, and I know him and one of my employees, Gary, they've been doing a lot of investigations, but.
No, I can't. Hey, tell me, did you get any calls on Lincoln Street? The manhole cover popping?
Nope, no, everything was good. No, like I said, we staffed the facility, and we're the good part about it right now is the facility is running excellent. And even though I don't like to see a 4 MGD run through the plant, we are, we're very successful right now, and it's running great.
No, like I tell you, and people on the outside, they don't know what you guys do. And like I said, I know everyone seems to think, and maybe I'm just blowing smoke. I'm not. You guys do a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job.
Thank you. Like I said before, thank you again.
This town don't realize.
Yeah, I mean, when we get these events, we have to prepare, and we do. We have a very good high flow management plan, and my guys know how to activate it as soon as we watch the rain.
How you feel for personnel?
Very good. As of right now, no Suez personnel issues at this time.
How about what have you seen for the sludge market? It's still going up and down, or?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, with the CPI, I should be seeing a new rate. Typically, it's July 1st, so any day now, I should be getting my new rate. I don't know. It's in the market. The market determines what the rate's going to be. It's unfortunate, but it's the way it is.
No, it is.
That's all I have, Chuck.
Okay. I guess the only items for next month would be approve the articles for the town meeting. Keith, when is the town meeting? Will we meet in September before that, or?
September 13th.
We won't. So if you could do me a favor, if you could, you and I could meet Tuesday on that EPA stuff. I'll bring it all down. Then maybe you could schedule something with Dan just so he knows, what's going on, and that way it's not a public meeting with him and I. One thing I wanted to also bring up that I jumped over is the open commissioner seat, the open vacancy. I guess there are 2 candidates. One candidate expressed an interest day one, and I guess since their postings, one other gentleman. So what they will be doing is they're going to reach out to you and I, Dan, about a joint meeting with the Board of Selectmen. And they're going to be getting us the applications for the other 2 gentlemen prior to that for our review. So this is the first time I've been through it, so I don't know where it goes from there. Other than that, anybody have anything else? Keith?
Nope. The only other additional thing we have is, Rick brought up, me and Gary have encountered some incredible amounts of INI, and we've been cameraing as much as we can, and we have Oldie coming in tomorrow with a camera truck because we can't get our camera as far as what we need, and we have just shooting from the hip. I'd say it's probably about 100,000 gallon infiltration we got that we're trying to find.
Well, then you do it too, kid. Hey, just for the record, Rick, you were, Keith, have you guys ever heard of, a company called Enviro Green, Enviro Nation or something? I keep getting that they'll loan out trucks and cameras and all equipment and that. Enviro Insight, does that ring a bell?
Oh, yeah, INSIGTE.
Yeah, I'm getting emails from them. I never heard of them. I didn't know
Yeah.
whether, I didn't want to give them your name or I didn't want to forward it to you, figure you'd be on their junk mail list.
Yeah, no, I've never used their services, but I have seen their trucks. I don't have any comments about them, good or bad.
Oh,
So,
no, no,
yeah.
the only reason I'm saying is they sent me one blurb is they'll loan out trucks as a sample to with cameras and all that. I didn't know if that's something you want to look into, take advantage of. I mean, that's, like I said, I didn't want to put forward to you in case you got on their email list. I didn't want to see you getting their junk.
That's part of the course with this job. I mean, every time there's a new superintendent, director, whatever, all these companies get a flash email that, okay, Town of Rockland just hired a new superintendent. Whatever towns, once a new person comes on board, they get flash emails.
Okay, that's got to be why I'm getting them, because I've never heard of some of these things.
Yeah, that's
Well,
common. Yeah, in this industry, that word gets out that a position has been filled.
Okay, Danny, you got anything else?
No,
Congratulations on the new grandchild.
well, thank you. Came home today.
Good. Everyone healthy?
Yes,
All right, I'll make a motion. We close the meeting.
I second it.
Right, I'll vote a yay.
Yeah,
And so I guess what we'll do is tentatively schedule one for August 19th. And if that be canceled, I'll put out a notice.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, people.
All right, thank you.
Congratulations, Dan.
oh, thank you,
Robin, thanks a lot
Congratulations.
for everything.
baby girl.
Thanks.
That's so nice.
Please don't say it looks like you.
I hope not.
Later.
See you guys.
See ya. Gonna hang up, Dan?
I'm trying to figure this out,
I'm in the same boat as you.
I hit leave meeting. It hasn't done nothing yet.
All right, it's just me.
Good night, Keith.
Good night. Thank you.
Have a good weekend.